then unfortunately for us, they had to leave to move to Pittsburgh. And but so glad that we reconnected.
Yeah,
Welcome back.
glad to be here.
Glad to have you.
Okay, Rabbi,
Well,
it's noon.
time, right? Hello, everybody, and welcome to 10 at Noon. This is the 10 at Noon. That's the first of the 5 this week that will lead us into or closer into Yom Kippur. We call these days the Yamim Noraim, the days of awe, the 10 days of awe. And it's not awe, doesn't that feel good, but rather awe, like, wonder. But I've always been struck by an experience I had years ago when I was talking with a woman who was very, very strict Orthodox, and her it was Shabbat Shuvah between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and she asked how I was, and I said I'm doing well, and I said how are you, and she said I'm just frightened, so frightened, and I asked her why, and she said I just I don't know if I'm going to be written into the book of life. And I thought that was such an interesting perspective because it was not one that I shared in that sense. Because I had never at that point and still haven't been able to, walk out of synagogue on Yom Kippur and someone gives me a piece of paper that tells me, you're in or you're out. I don't. The truth is we never know that. But I love the fact that in Hebrew, Yirah, Yud Resh Aleph Hey. The root of that word is Yud Resh Aleph. That root means fear, but it also means awe and wonder. When we say Norah Tehilot Osefela and Michamocha, Norah is from the word Yirah, speaking about the wonders of God's miracles. The idea that that fear is one side of a coin, and that awe is the other side, is, I think, a help in understanding how we live our lives with meaning and with value and purpose. I always think of the words Kol Olam Kulo Gesher Tsar Ma'od. All the world is a very narrow bridge, but the principle is to not be afraid. And as I've taught, it's not you can't govern your emotions. You can't tell yourself not to be afraid. But you can tell yourself to walk forward even when you are afraid. And I think that that is the way we achieve awe and wonder. So we allow ourselves to move forward in the world, even in difficult situations. Feeling the fear, feeling the nervousness, feeling the energy of worry and concern, and yet still walking, still continuing to move forward. We move forward into these 8 days left of, or 7 days left of the holiday, of the time. It might be fearful to look at ourselves, to call upon ourselves to engage in what we call a cheshbon hanefesh, accounting of the soul. We might not like what we see. God willing, we like some of what we see. But if we could review our lives, all that we've said, and all that we've done, all that we didn't say, maybe you should have, all that we didn't do, but perhaps should have. That's going to be a long list. I'm sure it's balanced out in some way by our deeds. Maybe significantly, maybe just slightly. But this is the work of the High Holy Days. We project onto God as the ultimate recorder of events. But ultimately, we are the ones who have to review it. At this time, we call the mind and our hearts, people in our lives who are in need of healing and wholeness, pathways towards achieving and regaining strength, finding hope, seeking opportunities to reimagine, re-envision, reflect. I invite you to please read these names. And hear their names echoing upon you, upon your hearts, upon your souls, upon your minds. Each of them is a world unto itself. Mishaberach Avotenu v'Imotenu Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sarah, Rivka, Rachel v'Leah. May you, God, who blessed the story of our people, those who brought us to Torah, v'Yivarech et Cholim, just as you brought them healing, may you too bring our loved ones and friends, our community's healing. Provide them a refuah shlema, a complete and whole recovery and return to themselves, to their loved ones. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You, Rabbi.
We will be back here
Thank you.
every day of the week as we move
Thank
forward.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Scott.